y'all, good morning. So I thought I would hop on and talk about something that has come up in the comment section quite a bit over the past year or so since Savvy Minerals launched. And recently I got it, somebody said this in response to my very first video where I showed you how to make a tinted moisturizer with Savvy Minerals and then use, you know, the minerals in the brush and the misting spray to bring it to full coverage. And now that was my very first attempt, and anybody who's watched any of my videos over the course of time or even my more recent videos will know that my steps and processes have kind of been streamed down. I don't make the tinted moisturizer anymore. You know, I do the DIY glow primer, or I use the last two steps of the skincare system as my primer. Just depends on what I feel like. And lately I've been doing the DIY glow primer, which I just absolutely love so much. So, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that comment about it being too much work. And you know, I've said from the beginning, you know, there is a learning curve to this foundation because the format is different than even other mineral foundations. But also because of the level of pigmentation that they have in this iteration of the foundation. Maybe they'll be coming out with a full coverage one at some point, I don't know. But what we have right now, because of the level of pigmentation in the foundation, you're not going to be able to just slap it on your face. You can't just, unless you need zero coverage, you can't just slap this makeup on your face. But at the same time, I was thinking in regards to that, just trying to put it in context as far as like people's level of expectation and, you know, what a lot of other people do in regards to, I'm not talking about, you know, slapping on a BB cream and running out the door. That has never been my life. That will never be my life. But I'm talking about what people typically do when they have skin concerns, when they need full coverage and they want it to last for a really long time. And so I'm thinking back over makeup tutorials that I've watched, you know, big name YouTubers doing full coverage foundation, and every single one of them do at least these things. They prep their skin usually with a moisturizer or some kind of beauty oil or something like that. They prime their skin. They apply foundation meticulously, and then they set it either with a powder or a misting of some sort of spray or both. So that's 4 to 5 steps at a minimum. We're not talking about, and then you get to those people who do the 3 or 4 different shades of foundation on their face and who are like putting multiple prep and priming steps on their face, you know, different one for the nose and something for under the eyes and dropping things. There's like this whole thing about people taking, you know, moisturizers or primers, not primers, or like serums and things and like dripping it on their face. That's all crazy. Anyway, so we're not even talking about those extra people, right? We're just talking about baseline minimum steps. So there's the, you know, moisturizer skin prep step. There's the priming step, which could include anywhere from 1 to 3 different kinds of primer. I've seen people use multiple primers on their face. And then you've got the foundation application, and then you've got the setting, either with powder to enhance the coverage even more, or just to help like with longevity and such, so, or both. Now with Savvy Minerals, what I'm currently doing and what you're watching me do right now is I did put my sunscreen on before I applied my foundation, which is something that most people do, so you can add that to make that 5 or 6 steps, right? And then I primed my face with the DIY glow primer, and then I'm applying the powder to build my coverage. And that's it. That's what I do. So while I completely agree that for somebody who's used to just a BB cream, it's gonna seem like a lot. But for somebody who normally wears full coverage foundation, I don't think that it's more steps, you know what I mean? So I don't want to disregard, you know, people coming to the Savvy Minerals line and being like, what is happening with the misting spray and the you know, having to have special priming steps and all of that kind of stuff. You know, like I said, there is a learning curve, but I think for people who are who have always worn full coverage foundation, it's really not that many more. It's really not more steps, honestly. So I want to acknowledge too that for some people, finding the correct priming step for their foundation has been a challenge, you know. I guess I kind of got lucky in that either, you know, just from my past experience dealing with my rosacea and trying to achieve full coverage, I, you know, was able to kind of come to a place where I landed on what worked for me pretty quickly. But I would say that keeping it as simple as possible is usually the best method, at least to start. So, and I also just wanted to throw in a quick tip about the misting spray. I get a lot of questions about this and what I use it for, and what I don't use it for. So I will say that I only use the misting, and I might do a whole video about this, but I just wanted to throw this in there for those who might be watching and wondering. I really only use the misting spray for foundation. I will sometimes use it to foil shadows, but that's it. I do not use it to apply blush, bronzer, or the veil. I don't think you would get great results that way. Maybe if you had darker skin and you were trying to use one of the lighter shades of blush or bronzer, but I think the shimmer in it would cause a white cast on your face if you use the misting spray in conjunction with those things. So, so I use the blush, bronzer, and veil dry. I don't use the misting spray at all, or contouring. I don't mist my brush for contouring either. So anyway, I just wanted to hop on and share my thoughts and kind of also, you know, let people see the number of steps that I use, you know, and how quickly I was able to achieve full coverage. And you know, I think full coverage girls understand. Good morning, Carol. I think full coverage girls kind of understand, and once you land on the priming method that works for you, everything else is easier and more achieved more quickly and more simply. So if you're struggling, I would definitely focus there and try to keep it simple. So but you can totally do it in 3 to 4 steps, just like any other full coverage foundation routine. So, so yeah, those are my thoughts on that. If you have any comments or questions about anything that I shared, you can pop those down in the comment section below. If you're curious about what's on my eyes, I am wearing Crowned All Over as my the lightest lid color there. I've got the light Multitasker in through the crease, and the dark Multitasker in the outer corner and along the lash line as my liner. That's what I'm wearing. I've got I Do Believe You're Blushin' on my cheeks, and I have no idea what I'm gonna wear on my lips, so I'm gonna go figure that out and head off to work. If you found this video helpful in any way, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing on your way out. Again, you can put comments or questions down in there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can also find me on Facebook at Savvy Girls Guide, or Instagram at SavvyGirlsGuide_YL. I'd love to chat with you there too. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.